Hello and welcome to the Hero Herald, a podcast about superheroes. That's right, I am going public, making this admission. I love superheroes. I like them in movies, I like them in comics, I like them in cartoons. I like superheroes, but I also like them because my son Jonah likes them. And on a pretty regular basis, you can find me and Jonah debating the merits of certain heroes and villains, imagining what would happen if our favorite heroes fought, just kind of dreaming out loud. And as a matter of fact, the last time Jonah and I were in one of these discussions, he looked at me and said, "You know, Dad, we ought to start a podcast." And he knows the way to my heart. You say podcast and I am there. Let me welcome my co-host and really the creator, the guy who had the idea for the Hero Herald. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome my son Jonah. Jonah, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. And just to be clear, he is my co-host.
Okay, I'm Jonah's
Since
co-host.
I created it and it was my idea.
Okay, so we actually were talking about heroes. So Jonah and I, we both like comics, we both like cartoons, hero movies, all that sort of stuff. And what we've realized is we could talk about heroes for hours. And we thought, well, that would make a great podcast. But we actually, Jonah, it was a little bit hard for us at first because we were first going to make it just about comics, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Which we were going to call it Comic Catastrophe.
Yeah, we were going to call it Comic Catastrophe. But the deal is while Jonah and I like comics and we have some comics, neither one of us really have the budget to go buy a whole bunch of comics.
Yes.
So, but what we realize is what we really care about a lot are heroes. And so we've got a lot of stuff planned over the episodes. Like I said, we can come up with stuff all the time, but we thought it'd be cool if in the first couple of episodes, we would let you know who some of our favorite heroes are. And we figured we'd take them kind of one episode at a time. And so that we might share with you, you know, for example, who's Jonah's favorite hero, who's mine, whose favorite villain, all that stuff. And if you know us very well or you know Jonah very well, you probably know this. But I'm going to go ahead and first we're just going to share with you just real briefly our favorite heroes. So without a doubt, my favorite hero is Batman. I love Batman. I love anything related to Batman. I've always loved Batman. I like a lot of heroes, but Batman's always been my favorite. And then those of you who know Jonah will know this. But Jonah, why don't you tell everybody who yours is?
Iron Man, because he is probably the coolest and best hero ever and could probably beat Batman in 5 seconds.
Okay, so Jonah likes Iron Man. So what we thought we would do is for the first couple episodes, we would focus on that. So for today's episode, we're going to talk about Batman. Jonah, you were very gracious to let us talk about my favorite hero first. And so we're just going to have a discussion. Now, while you still propose that Iron Man could beat Batman up, I mean, I know you're wrong. Most of the world knows you're wrong. But
the majority of the world knows I'm right.
Okay, but having said that, you still have an appreciation for Batman, though.
Yeah, a little.
Okay,
He used to be my favorite hero.
Used to be your favorite hero way back when, but not just Batman. Do you remember who you liked when you were real little?
Flash?
No, you liked Batman, but it was a particular kind of Batman. Do you remember? You remember that?
Beyond?
Batman Beyond,
yes.
Right? So Jonah would watch the Batman animated series that would come on TV.
My dad's addicted to that now.
Well, it is really cool, but it was actually in reruns when you watched it, and then the WB did a new Batman.
Yeah, like just the Batman.
Yeah, the Batman, and they're pretty good. And then
the
of course,
intro was from a guy from, what was his name?
I don't remember.
It was
like an anime guy or something.
U2.
Oh, the Edge. Yeah, the Edge
it was
did
by
music.
the Edge.
Yeah,
you should do a Mirror's Edge.
Yeah. So but Jonah really liked Batman Beyond. He had a Batman Beyond costume, Halloween costume.
Yeah.
Had little fake muscles in it. You remember that?
One time we had a garage sale and I thought that we got rid of it and I started crying, but then we found out that we still had it.
Yeah.
And I was very happy.
Yeah. So I will tell you some of the reasons why I like Batman. And I actually came up with an interesting theory about Batman. So why don't we do this? Why don't we say the things that we like about Batman? Obviously mine, I'll probably have more to say because I love him. And then we'll say the stuff that we don't like about Batman, or the things that we feel like are problematic with Batman. Okay? So I will say this. The thing that I love about Batman, I used to think was his moral code. You know, that he had this sense of justice and rightness, and you know, all of this stuff that like I'm going to be resolute. Nothing can deter me. I'm obsessed. I'm infatuated with justice, and I've lived my whole life for that thing, and that is cool. But here's what I think, Jonah. I actually think that Batman is a really loving person. What do you think about that theory? Does he seem loving?
Yeah, but sorta on the inside, I guess.
Yeah. So the thing I love about Batman is, so Batman has these things like he doesn't kill people, and at least in comics, but probably in cartoons too. But in comics, Batman always tries to redeem the villain. He always holds out hope that the villain will be made better, and I think that's because he loves people. Right? Yes. And think about this. He lost people that he loved.
Yeah.
So he lives in a loveless life.
And like in that one comic, he found love and then it got killed. Love was destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's a tragic figure for sure. But see, that's what I love about Batman. I love that he is loving, and that he really believes that he can change people. He really believes that. So what about you? I know Batman's not your favorite, but think about something that you like about Batman. It may not be the number one thing, but just something you like about him.
Well, he is a pretty cool hero, though I really like the villains more than Batman.
But we're talking about Batman.
I know, it's just I can't resist it.
Well, but here's the deal. But do you like his do you like his fighting style? Do you like the Batcave? Do you like the outfit? I mean, what?
Sort of that he's a little dark.
Yeah.
Not too dark, since I'm only 11. But.
Yeah. But you've seen Batman Begins and The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. So you've seen probably the darkest version of Batman, or at least the most earnest version.
Well, probably the darkest version would be like the comics.
Yeah, they get pretty dark. That's true.
Dun, dun, dun.
But you like kind of the darkness. You like that he's a tortured soul.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now let's talk about the things we don't like about Batman. Believe it or not, there are some things that I don't like about Batman. I know it's shocking.
Who are you?
One of the things that I don't like about Batman is more about Batman as a character, and that is there's just too much information out there. He's been around so long that there are all these different storylines and all these different mythologies. And I love Batman, and I love reading comics and trying to keep up with it. But they have had so many varied storylines that it's impossible to keep up with the mythos of Batman. Yeah. To know, well, who's that guy and why is that guy over here?
Killing that guy.
Right. And the Batman comics do a good job, because you and I have talked about this. Do you remember the famous quote that Stan Lee had about comics?
Yeah.
Remember about why every comic always recaps?
Like, always treat one comic like it's the reader's first comic.
Yeah, that's right. That's it. Stan Lee said that. He said,
if you're watching the Stan Lee, you're one of the most awesome people in the world.
Every comic is someone's first. And so, but that's the thing I don't like about Batman is there's just so much information, is that it's really hard to keep up with. What about you? Is there something you don't like about Batman?
It's a little too dark a lot, and...
Well, I thought you liked the darkness.
I mean, I do. It's just that some of it's too dark, like... And his archenemy is a clown, so that's pretty embarrassing for the Bat.
We'll definitely talk about best and worst villains at some point.
Yes.
But I think so. Here's what I think. So tell me if I'm right. So I'm going to try to diagnose what you're saying. What I think you're actually saying is, and tell me if I'm wrong, is that Batman sometimes can get a little too violent and a little too gory and a little too depressing.
Yeah.
So you like that he's the serious figure. You like that he's serious about it. It's not cartoony. It's not silly. But you don't like that it's sometimes maybe more graphic than other things.
Yeah, it's like you're watching a Batman movie. Death, death, death.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so that's it. That's my favorite hero, and I love Batman, and I know I'm not alone. I know a lot of people like Batman, and a lot of people like him now because there's been the movies from Christopher Nolan. But you and I actually are in the process of working our way back through Tim Burton's 1989 Batman.
Yes,
So
we're about to finish it. And
we're nearly done. We're to the parade sequence, and actually, yeah. So I think what's about to happen is the big scene where the Batwing flies up to the moon.
Yeah, we've already gotten past
Yeah,
that.
but he's coming at Joker. You remember that? He's flying right at the Joker.
I like that part where, like, Prince is saying it, and then Joker's like, oh!
Yeah, on the Prince song. Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, do you like that? Do you like the 89 Batman? Has it been pretty good?
Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I told you they get way sillier. They don't quite stay that way. But I like Michael Keaton as a Batman. I feel like he was really good. And Jack Nicholson was a good Joker. I think Heath Ledger was really, really awesome. Did you know this? You may have not known this. But before the Christopher Nolan Batman movies came out, there was a YouTube video of like a fan-made movie. And they cast an actor who had been in a show called Growing Pains. And I cannot remember his name. He's actually dead now. He was a drug addict. I think he killed himself. But on the show he was on, he played this really dumb character named Boner. I need to look up his name. I'll tell you what. Let's look up his name right quick. Yeah, the guy's name was Andrew Koenig, and he actually, it's real simple. If you go to YouTube, just do Andrew Koenig, Koenig, and then just put Joker. There are a lot of versions of it, so I don't want to give you the name because I think there are probably some different titles. But it was great, and I remember when I heard that there was more Batman movies coming, I always hoped that maybe this guy would get to be the Joker. Yeah. So that's me. I like Batman. Jonah, of course, likes Iron Man, and so naturally we're planning on episode 2. We're going to do the same thing with Iron Man, but we want to go ahead and let you know that if you listen to this podcast, you're going to catch a recurring theme, and you can even see it in our favorite heroes that we just talked about. Jonah, go ahead and tell them what will probably be a consistent disagreement throughout all of the Hero Herald.
We're probably gonna be dissing each other's heroes.
Because
I like Marvel, he likes DC, and there's war.
Yeah, so Jonah loves Marvel heroes, and I like Marvel heroes too, but Jonah prefers Marvel, and I prefer DC. Although I have to say, Jonah, and I've said it privately, and I'll say it publicly, The Avengers was a much better movie than The Dark Knight Rises. I'm going to just shake your hand.
You are very true.
Yeah, so The Avengers was great. And here's the deal. As hero movies come out, or maybe even some podcasts, we're going to talk about the movies.
This isn't just about comics. This is about movies, too.
Yeah, about heroes. You know what we could do? We even could play the movie. You know, we couldn't run the sound because we don't own the rights to it, but we could do a full commentary track if we wanted to, like talk through the movie.
Yeah, but that'd be like a whole hour.
We could do it. It'd be fun.
Yeah. Maybe. Possibly.
Maybe. So so the next episode 2, we're going to talk about Jonah's favorite hero, which is Iron Man. We'll get more into the Marvel versus DC and all that stuff. So, however, here's what I'd like to do. I'd love to know what you, the listener, think. I'd love for you to tweet us who's your favorite superhero. You can tweet either one of us. Just make sure that you hashtag it, the Hero Herald. You can tweet me at Todd Wright Band.
No, at Jonah Gamer.
Yeah, at Jonah Gamer. Send that and just go ahead and put us both in it so we could see it. But we'd love to know who are your hero, who are your favorite heroes. We'll do it with villains. We'll do it with movies. We'll do it with everything. So to end our podcast, one thing we want to do very consistently is we want to ask a trivia question. We're going to ask it of the listeners, but we're not going to reveal the answer until the next episode. So we're going to give you time, and Jonah's got the question about a Batman villain. Go ahead, Jonah.
Okay, so the trivia question of the episode is, what is the name of the Batman villain that only uses action words? And if you don't know what an action word, it's like bam, pow, zoom, slap, snap.
All right.
Crud.
So
not crud. That's just a word.
That's the question. What villain uses action words? Hey, don't forget to tweet us at Todd Wright Band, at Jonah Gamer. You had one other plug you wanted to send.
Check out my blog. Do you have a blog?
You can just do yours.
Okay. That's jonahgamer.blogspot.com, and check out our YouTube channels. I'm Jonah Gamer. He's Toddy Rowe. And that's about the end of the Hero Herald, so we will see you probably in a few hours because we're going to record one later. And
All right. Same bat time, same bat channel. Bye, guys.
same what?